Alright, what is going on everybody? Captain here, coming at you with another Marvel Contest of Champions little tips, tricks, tutorial, video, helpful hints, whatever you want to call it. Before I get into the video though, you might notice the dimensions of my game might look a little bit different, and that is because I'm playing on an iPad mini 4 now. I went ahead and got one the other day just because I wanted to play on a better device other than just on my phone. I wanted to keep my phone strictly I was tired of recording on my phone pretty much, and I'm currently working on trying to get it to work through OBS using the Reflector 2 app and everything, but still working on that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of the iPad look. I like it a lot better. Bigger screen for me, much easier to play. But enough of that. We're here to talk about Mordo today, guys. Mordo is one of the most annoying defenders to face in the game. Most of you've probably faced him at this point, and what's annoying about him is you can't stun him. Well, you can, but when you go to try to attack him, you end up getting destroyed. Alright, to show you guys what I mean by getting wrecked by Mordo, I've got a couple clips here that I'm going to show you in just a moment, but first off, to show you where I found this Mordo that I'm facing, it's actually in my previous alliance, Friends Forever, so shout out to you guys. And if I scroll down, I go down here to Aladdin, I'm not sure how to say your name. He wasn't in the alliance when I was there. So this is who I was using. He's got a 440 duplicated Mordo, which is a pretty beefy character. This is where I was using my testing, so it's a pretty strong Mordo to go against. Alright, so this first clip here, I went in with my Beast, and you can see I'm just, Beast is one of my favorite characters. I'm really good with him. Started off pretty good here. I get a parry there, and you can see I go in right away, and there's that Astral evade. It just automatically shoots right back at me, and I get the degeneration. I start losing health, and he starts hurting me, which that's really annoying. On top of that, Mordo has his power gain that he consistently gets. In this video, I'm not going to talk about how to get rid of his power gain. It's mainly about how to avoid that Astral evade. So I'm going to jump now to another video another clip that I made with Star-Lord. Alright, so here I am with the Star-Lord. Again, another strong champion. Should be fine for Mordo. I did win both of these fights in the end, but I just wanted to showcase this. You can see I'm doing pretty well right off the bat, dodging his specials and everything. And now I get the parry there, and you can see I go right in again, get the Astral evade, and then I'm done. Like, well, not done, but if I was going against a stronger Mordo, it would not have ended very well for me here. And again, here toward the end of the fight is another quick little example of what the Astral evade looks like. You block, go into the fight, and then you go and you get destroyed. For the most part, this has been a problem. Like, if you're not really paying attention, you're just gonna forget. You're so used to hitting the stun, and then you just go right into the attack. So it takes some adjusting when you're going against Mordo. So how can we adjust to going against a Mordo? What's a good strategy? One strategy that came up to me that one of my alliance members, I don't remember who it was a few weeks ago, they mentioned that Drax, for some reason, gets past Mordo's Astral evade. And I was like, how is that possible? Like, why would he be able to get past it? The only reason I can think of is that he hits with 2 fists. I don't know why. That's the only thing that separates Drax from every other champion in the game. His first medium attack, he hits with 2 hits. And here, if I go into this first attack, you can see I get a parry, and then I go right in, and he does not have the Astral evade effect. I did not get the degeneration, and it's smooth sailing from that point on. So I couldn't believe this. This was actually the first time I ever tested this with Drax myself. It actually went really well. Now I'll go ahead and let the fight play out here. You can see I get it a couple more times. Other tips for trying to face Mordo, you really want to try to counter his heavies as much as you can. So the second he pushes forward with his hands, you just want to charge in with that medium attack first and get your combo going. Another thing to do is to bait out his specials. You can see I get a couple good hits in on his specials here right after he uses them. And you can see right there with the 3-star Drax, even with the class disadvantage, I was able to take down the Mordo pretty easily. I didn't have to worry about the Astral evade. I didn't have to worry about the degeneration. The only thing I had to pay attention to was his power meter, which is no different from any other fight with any other character. You always want to watch the power bar. So once I found out that Drax was a good counter for Mordo, I wanted to find out if there's other characters that could possibly be potential counters for Mordo, because he's a very tricky character, as I've been saying. And it wasn't until today that I've actually found another alternative to working around Mordo. It's not a 100% like way to get around him or defeat him, but it is a pretty effective one, and I think it's a pretty good way. And you also won't be having the class disadvantage with this one. So the character that I'm talking about, as you've probably seen from the thumbnail, is Agent Venom. So if I go into my characters here, and I click on Agent Venom, I go into Info. If I go to his abilities, right here is his passive ability. The Venom symbiote works with Flash's training to reduce enemy evasion chance by 50%. So that I've never really, I've always known he had this passive ability, but I never thought about it working with Mordo, because his thing is technically called Astral Evade. This didn't occur to me until today in my line chat with my alliance. One of the other alliance members, Jadel, he said, guys, is Mordo bugged? Because I didn't have his Astral effect when I used Agent Venom against him. And I thought to myself, I was like, that must be a bug. Why? And then I remembered he had this ability. I'm like, I wonder if that applies to that as well. And then the other thing he mentioned was, he also said it only worked 2 out of 3 times when he parried him, and then the stun got reverted onto himself, but then the degeneration got tenacity right away. And that's his other passive ability there at the top. Flash's intense military background, coupled with his alien symbiotic enhancement, grants him a 70% chance to shrug off any debuff. So even if the 50% chance to reduce the enemy evasion doesn't work, there's a good chance the tenacity will shrug off the degeneration, making it a pretty easy fight. But again, this was all theory. I hadn't tested it out yet. I was at work when I came up with this idea, and I couldn't wait to get home to test this out so I can make this video hoping that it would work. So now I'm going to hop into my first fight against Mordo with Agent Venom. Again, I had not tested this at all. This was my first fight. You can see right off the bat I got a bad start, but then I get a parry and I go right into it, and you can see I go right through it. He didn't turn it around on me. I didn't get the Astral Evade effect, and I keep going on with the fight. There's no degeneration, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, it does work. How often are the chances going to be? You can see I get another parry, and that time I do get the degeneration, but tenacity takes it off shortly thereafter. So I wonder, okay, that's I'm 1 for 2 so far. 2 for 2 getting rid of it with using the tenacity as well, though, which is pretty sweet. So you can see here, I kind of got a little reckless, and I was just kind of going all out. I ended up pushing him to a special 3. And there we go. I got another parry, but it did revert onto me again. And I ended it off with another parry, but I got the degeneration. But I'm pretty sure all those times the tenacity got rid of the degeneration right afterwards. So I thought, okay, that was only one battle. That's not enough to go off of. I want to fight him at least a couple more times. So I had a couple more dual credits, dual things to spend. So here I go into him with the second time. And again, right off the bat, I get the parry and I go right in and no problem. And then another one, but then the tenacity gets rid of it. So if I speed up the video a little bit more, you see a couple more times I get a parry off, I get the degeneration, but the tenacity gets rid of it every time. You can see in this second fight, I was able to take down the Mordo, unlike in the first fight when I got destroyed. So I was getting a little bit, also I was a little bit more familiar with his fighting style at the time. I battled him a couple times at this point, so I was getting a little bit more and more used to it, which I mean, I've been playing against him for a while, so I am used to it. So if we have one last fight here, and this one was probably my best fight against him. Obviously, I'd fought him a couple times at this point, so I was more and more familiar with his fighting style. And I got the parry. At the beginning there you saw, I was able to get past it. The degeneration gets rid of it with the tenacity. And you can see, guys, this is a pretty effective way to fight Mordo. So if there's a really stacked Mordo in the quest or anything, like there is, I believe there is a Mordo in the final map, or the second, no, it's the second to last map. He's in the Iceman path, so I'm definitely going to be taking my Agent Venom to counter that Mordo for sure. Because you see this last fight here, he's barely done any damage to me, and he's just about dead. There it is, guys. Mordo's down. Agent Venom is a strong counter, in my opinion, to take down Mordo. Another thing I just realized also when I was looking through Agent Venom's stats here, if I click on him real quick, I didn't realize this when I was fighting him or when I was looking at him earlier, is his special 1. This attack reduces enemy evasion chance by 30%. So his special 1 also decreases the chance. So if you use that, I'm not quite sure how it works, but that is another thing to note that could possibly help out when trying to attack a Mordo. But there you have it, guys. Agent Venom and Drax, your 2 counters that you can use in trying to fight Mordo. If this video was helpful for you guys, or if you really enjoyed this, thought it was a pretty good tip, you'd like me to make some more of these, let me know by leaving a comment down below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you next time.